All right, so there's a few things to go over in the AH and JD situation. We are now in day 10, officially. Still week 3, though, and then we still have weeks 4, 5, and 6. So this is going to be a long trial, like I've stressed before. But I do feel that it's important to cover and it's important to talk about. Now, right now, during the trial, we are going over testimony from the LAPD. I believe there's going to be 4 officers total. I'm not going to make multiple videos on this part because a lot of this was already discussed during the UK trial when all this came out. None of them testify to seeing any marks on AH. They didn't see anything, actually. They didn't see any broken glass everywhere. That was supposed to be the thing. That the penthouse was supposed to be trashed. Body cam footage reveals that all of that was, of course, a lie. Of course, a gigantic lie. Would you expect anything less from AH? But I will play 2 clips. One is the first officer that says, no, she's not a victim of domestic violence. And the other officer right after her who says, I didn't see any marks. By the way, the lawyers for this were awful. I think it was grandma lawyer. As Ricada puts it here, Amber Heard's lawyer is very good at getting the police officers to repeat over and over that AH didn't have any injuries and there were no signs of any physical struggle. Brilliant lawyering. So listen to this.
And it says, purpose, the department is legislatively mandated to provide specific information to victims of domestic violence crimes. And then they go in to describe that. What is your understanding of, well, let me go a little bit further because I'm going to try to move through this a little bit quicker. So it says, to mitigate this issue, the department has begun to use the Victim Information Notification Every Day, VINE, pamphlet to accomplish not only the domestic violence information requirements under Section 13701 of the California Penal Code, but also to provide information regarding the VINE program. Did you have a copy of that pamphlet? Was that something that was given to you?
Yes.
Okay. And was that something that you typically provided then, as it says you should, to victims of domestic violence?
Yes.
What is your understanding of why you were to provide the pamphlet to the victim? You understand the question?
Yes, because it gives resources to the victims, domestic violent resources, like shelters and phone numbers to provide help.
I'm going to show you what has been marked as exhibit number 11. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, I do. This is the VINE.
Okay, when you say VINE, is this the pamphlet that was being referred to? Okay. And it's your understanding that you were supposed to be giving that pamphlet to victims of domestic violence on calls, is that correct?
Correct.
Did you provide a copy of this pamphlet to Amber Heard?
I did not identify her as a victim of domestic violence.
On how many occasions did you see her face?
I believe 2.
And the first time you saw her face, how close to her were you?
I don't recall exactly. I think it was approximately 10 feet.
Did you perceive any, did you have any problems with your eyesight at that time?
No.
Did you have 20/20 vision as of May 21, 2016?
No, I wear contacts though, so I can't see perfectly fine.
Were you wearing your contacts that evening?
Yes.
Did you have any trouble seeing the contours of her face the first time you saw her that evening?
No.
Did you perceive any signs of injury on her face or anywhere else on her body that was visible to you?
No.
For how long a period did you view her face the first time you saw her that night?
few seconds, not very long.
And how much later was the second time you saw Miss Heard?
Right before we left.
And how close to her were you when you observed her face?
Approximately 10 feet.
Did you have a clear view of her face?
Yes.
Did you still have your contacts in at the time?
Yes.
Was there sufficient light that enabled you to actually see her face?
I believe so. I believe it was the light was a little dimmer, but it was still lit.
Did you perceive any signs of injury to her face on that second occasion?
No.
Did you see any swelling of any kind on her face, either during the first time you saw her or the second time you saw her that night?
No.
And that's going to be the narrative for the next two police officers. It's important to highlight because it shows, once again, that she was making stuff up. There was no glass. There were no marks. In fact, they refused to cooperate, as in they, AH, and all of her buddies refused to cooperate. They didn't want to talk to him. So, good testimony. Not that exciting, but it's good testimony. This guy did really good, by the way. Held his own. In fact, Grandma Lawyer, it almost seemed like at the end she was threatening him with charges, trying to indicate that he was lying. Because they know that this is damning. It's just another round of people that saw no marks and no mess. Now, the next thing I want to go over is this. So, remember, a lot of the Heard supporters, fake. Bots, not real. Okay? You already had a study come out and talk about that. But now, all of a sudden, things towards her are real. Now, to me, this is an attempt for her to get some kind of sympathy and victimhood back. AH hires elite security firm as threats from JD trial rise. I'm calling BS. I'm not calling BS in that she hired some people. I think it's a good idea for any Hollywood celebrity to probably hire some people. But the thing about this is they're claiming that things are on the rise, that people are, lone wolves are going to go after AH. I'm pressing X to doubt, and the evidence that they're using are some posts from Twitter under the hashtag Justice for Johnny Depp hashtag on Twitter, which is very popular, trends every day. Probably about 500 to 700, maybe to 1,000 tweets an hour for that hashtag. It's moving and grooving, baby. People want justice for Johnny Depp. So in there's some accounts that are saying some nasty shit. Like this. You can see it. Okay. This one didn't even use the right hashtag. Amber Hearded. HEARDD. My guess, there's some bots, some fakes, maybe Eve Barlow under alternate sock accounts, typing nasty shit to make the movement look bad. And now trying to say that, things are on the rise. The only evidence they show are a couple of cringy accounts on Twitter. I have people post shit about me all the time on Twitter. Who cares? But the thing here is we already know a large proportion of her followers are fake. A lot of fake support for her out there that's not real. Who's to say that this is real? If this one didn't even use the right hashtag, use 2 Ds. I think this is fake. These are alternate accounts trying to make Justice for Johnny look bad. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And you're going to have a hard time convincing me otherwise. I think this is fake. But, good. Hire some security. Get some caution. But funny that this is an exclusive and that you needed to tell the public. It's interesting. Needed to let the public know about this, huh? This is an attempt to get the media to finally jump in and go after Johnny Depp fans, which is coming. It is coming. I read an article yesterday. I'm going to probably do a video on it. Talking about me, Tug, and a few other people that are covering this case. So, get ready for that, because it is coming. I promise you it's coming. They're going to come after us. They're going to label us all like evil and all kinds of stuff, when all we want is some justice. I don't want anything bad to happen to her. I just want justice. I want Johnny Depp and men that get accused of lies to get their lives back. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, make sure to follow me over on Twitch. I do watch parties, play video games over there. They're always fun. Follow me over there and come hang out. Also, make sure you subscribe to YellowFlash, my other channel. There's a link to that in the description as well. I do a lot of live streams over there that I don't do on this channel. Usually smaller and a little bit more personal. So make sure you follow me over there and sign up.